Dans Shararea.
Yeah, still good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning here, at least. Good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of day, night, whatever you're listening to this ramble. Um, it's 11:05 a.m. here in Northern California, June 10th, 2024. Oh my gosh, the time today has gone so like awkward, just so weird because it's 11. I don't know where the last several hours have been. Like I've been working on my like the information to share today. I had my coffee, not enough. And I don't know how it's already 11. I have so much to get done. Um so weird. Like I woke up early enough. I slept in actually. I slept in until 8:30. Um and it's happening more and more. Like we have to wake up, like now it's feeding the kid, and instead of every 2 hours, it's every 4 hours. And you know how you get enough, like that you're sleeping long enough where when you wake up, it's like, oh, you kind of feel rested, but it's only been 4 hours, but not long enough to actually keep going. And so when you fall back to sleep after feeding the kitten, you kind of like you sleep longer than you should. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Kind of where I'm at. So I hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're enjoying your day. I hope you had a great weekend. It's a Monday, right? Please say it's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. Yes, of course. Um, so today we are going to actually be talking about the King of Pentacles reversed. King of Pentacles reversed. A very interesting energy. Sometimes when I look at the King of Pentacles, I get like overwhelmed because I don't know, like I get anxiety because he looks so it looks like hoarding to me. There's just so much in the card. It feels like I can't breathe, right? In reverse, very much so. It's like, oh my gosh, there's just so much. Um I just can't breathe. It's a lot. And so, kings, royalty, court cards, they can be peoples in our lives. They can represent events and such as well. Pentacles, coins, money, resources, earth element, like physical, mundane, like the everyday, like our waking world, the everyday mundane stuff we have to deal with. And always feel free to share your thoughts, your concerns, your questions, all of it, in regards to what we're talking about. Um, the King of Pentacles reversed often represents a leader or someone who is in a leader, like a leadership position, because we say leader, but like just because you're in a position of leadership, it doesn't mean that you're actually a leader, right? So, the King of Pentacles reversed often represents, well, hello, Felicia. Oh my God, 500 years. So good to see you. Hello. Often represents a leader who mismanages both power and resources. I think that a lot of us who have worked for companies, you know, we've experienced that, whether it's from management, higher ups. I think that we can really comprehend that. So, again, a leader who mismanages both power and resources, leading not only to financial missteps, but also to a morally compromised position driven by greed. This card cautions against the dangers of prioritizing wealth and status over integrity and fairness, reminding us that true leadership requires responsibility and ethical governance. Um, So when the King of Pentacles reverse pops up, this is the type of energy that we're working with. Like, ooh, is this me? Is this me? Am I the one who's, maybe I'm the one who is in a space of greed where it's like I am just trying to, and there's reasons for that, you know. There's, maybe I haven't had things and now I'm in a position where I can have things, and so I'm not really like, I'm not thinking like, oh, I want to put you aside to put you aside, but I'm just thinking, oh wow, this is new. This is a new experience. I'm gonna take this, and we forget to check in with our integrity. We forget to check in with who we actually are, and so there's that type of vibe too, right? And so, you know, with the King of Pentacles reverse, we have to be very, very aware of what is you know, occurring in our life situation right now. Again, uh this is energy that is prioritizing like having things, having money, having resources over actual making sure our team is equipped with the tools they need to make happen what they need to make happen, right? It's kind of like it makes me think of when I was working for in professional retail for the beauty industry, you know, when I was working for a company, and they would provide, you know, they would provide some luxuries, coffee, and things like that. And then towards like my end of being there, they started taking away everything. They took away like rewards, they took away the coffee, they took away a lot of things. And it was like, oh, we can really see where the King of Pentacles in reverse is popping up. The people, the higher ups, are seeking more money and to cut costs and to cut, you know, to do things in a way where the actual people doing the work to you know, help them get their stuff, they're being the ones cut, you know, they're being the ones they are the ones who feel those the impact of that. Does that make sense? Well, hello Zoe, welcome. Does that make sense though? So with that stuff that we deal with when the King of Pentacles reverse pops up, and we have to also be mindful: is it us? Like we should always check in. Like, is that us? Like, am I? Is my integrity like faltering? Is it on the edge? Am I in a morally compromised position right now? And why? How can I work through that? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as also. And so some practical applications to help us like navigate this, like if this is us, or you know, if this is something we're dealing with, we might foster ethical decision making, regularly evaluate our decisions, especially those related to finance and resource management, against a personal ethical code. This practice helps prevent slipping into decisions driven by greed or status. So being able to tap into our ethics, our person, what we feel is fair, what we feel is right for us, making sure that well, thank you. Thank you. Look at, it's the Romanov Manor. Um thank you. And so that's something that we can consider is like, oh, because a lot of times when we're like we get into the King of Pentacles reverse sort of vibe, if we don't, if we come from nothing, you know, if we come from nothing, if we've had to like severely struggle, and then we're like getting opportunities, we don't have the tools, right? Because we didn't have those tools initially, so we don't have the tools to like understand taxes or understand, you know, how to manage money or understand, you know, what to do with all of this stuff, right? And so it's really good to have ethics and to understand what our ethics are in regards to our own money and our financial situation, and to check in with that and to make sure that we are making decisions based on that code that we have set for ourselves. Um, And so yeah, that's one aspect, one practical application that I think is important. We can seek mentorship, kind of goes with fostering ethical decision making as well. Like engage with mentors or peers who prioritize, again, ethical leadership. Their insights can provide guidance and help you stay accountable to your values, especially in challenging situations. And so this is really cool because it doesn't really it doesn't really matter what what career or job force that you're in. If you're in a leadership role, you can seek out other leaders who inspire you, because we will find when we grow, when we like climb that ladder, as they say, when we get into positions of power, we will find that there are other people in positions of power who just want more power at the cost of others, right? They want to keep people in a disempowered state. But like that's not what we want. We want to grow and empower and bring with us. Like we want to make sure that, because everyone has that potential, everyone has that ability to grow and to climb that ladder. Like I don't want to stunt anyone. I don't want to be a part of a growth that where I grow so that and I make sure others do not. That's not my vibe. And so I think that seeking mentorship in places that uplift, encourage, and they have that mentality where we can all rise, right? So important, because the people we place our investment in, they also invest into us. And so if we're investing into people who are all about tearing others down or tearing situations, events down, whatever it is, that's the type of vibe we're going to emit. So seek mentorship in the right areas for our own lives. Um, Checks and balances, whether in a professional setting or personal finance. Establish checks and balances that ensure transparency and prevent misuse of power. This might mean having a second pair of eyes on major decisions or setting clear guidelines for financial management, because again, the pentacles, coins, physical stuff, resources, money, all of that, our body. And so it's important to hold ourselves accountable. It's very important to hold ourselves accountable and have people around us that will also do that. They will not feed, yes, they will encourage, they will uplift, they will support us, but they're also going to be like, you know what, you're kind of like you're kind of getting out of alignment with what you have expressed your interest in, or with what you've expressed what you want to do. Like, do you need to reevaluate that goal, or do you need to kind of get back into alignment with what you're doing? So checks and balances is another like very important thing that we can do to tackle this aspect of the card. So the second like key insight or talking point today is imbalance, material and spiritual imbalance, right? Oh, Blix is doing well. Everyone's doing well. The kitten is running. It's weird. So sorry, I'm gonna take a little. We're gonna talk about kitties right now. Um, so the kitten has the mom's daughter. I can't talk today, apparently. The mom's daughter had kittens, I want to say maybe like the next day after the mom did. And those kittens are way bigger, because the daughter was healthier, but like they're way bigger, but they're not as active. It's interesting to see that. Like they're so much bigger. Um so much fur. And Blixa is tinier, but like extremely active. Like he's running. I'm pretty fairly certain I don't know yet. But like he's like running, he's moving, he's playing. And the others aren't. So it's interesting to compare that. And it's like, makes you wonder why. And they're not extremely like far in age. They're like a day, maybe 2 days apart, if that. So yeah, it's interesting to watch how all of that works out. So the second key insight, um you know This reversal highlights the pitfalls of overemphasizing material gains at the expense of spiritual or emotional well being. It serves as a warning that while material success can bring comfort, it should not overshadow the need for inner peace and personal fulfillment. We are encouraged to find a harmonious balance that nurtures both material needs and spiritual health, ensuring neither aspect dominates at the cost of the other. It is so important. When the king is upright, has those luxuries, has that sort of like really healthy, balanced approach. In reverse, it's something that we have to kind of come to terms with. Like, oh, we have to really find our I homeostasis keeps popping into my head lately, and it's like I can't like all I want to say is homeostasis. And I'm like, stop it. But we have to we have to find that balance point where we return to that natural state of being that we have for ourselves. It's not just having all the resources, the finances, the money, and it's not just being super spiritual, super like psychic or super magical or whatever it is. It's not one or the other. We are living in a very physical world. We are living in a world that requires us to have resources to actually navigate the world we're in. But it doesn't mean that we can't have both. There's a lot of beliefs that hold us back from balancing both and experiencing both at a very heightened space because people think money is the root of all evil, and then people think that spiritual people shouldn't have money, and that we have to choose one or the other, and it's not the case. It's not the case, and the more like we the more we navigate this and the more comfortable we get talking about these sorts of topics, I feel like it becomes easier to navigate, right? It's easier to talk about, it's easier to address, it's easier to talk about money and spirituality, and yeah, it's fine. It's not taboo anymore, right? And so with this card, it's this aspect of the card. It is important that we ask ourselves, like maybe where in my experience am I too focused on having something or getting something, or am I too focused on the other? So where am I at in my life right now? Where am I overemphasizing at this moment, and how can I address it? So that's something that we have to like really explore for ourselves, is to not overemphasize one or the other, and to understand that it's all right. And so daily practice, and you'll find a lot of my practical applications are very similar, but depending on the card, they're altered a little bit, and I do that on purpose so you can see like it's not, you don't have to have like 1,000 different tools. You can have very like set tools, but you just use them in different ways to get the most out of like that card, right? So that's, I thought that was important to do. Daily practice. So incorporate mindfulness exercises into your routine, such as meditation or journaling, to maintain a connection with your inner self. This practice can help you balance material pursuits with spiritual well-being. And again, so you can take the card, like get the King of Pentacles reversed out, and then journal about it. Like, write down what you see, write down how it makes you feel, write down, anything that you're inspired to write down, so you can sort of blend the physical thing, the King of Pentacles physically as you're writing things down, but also spiritual stuff as you allow information to flow through you, as you pick apart the card, as you maybe connect with your spirit guides or whatever, get into a meditative space and write down. This will help balance that. It helps you find that sort of main, like that dominating point for yourself. So, priorities and values. Regularly review and prioritize your goals based on what truly brings you joy and fulfillment, not just financial success. Well, hello, Natalie. Good to see you. So, regularly review and prioritize your goals based on what truly brings you joy and fulfillment, not just financial success. This might involve career choices, investments, or personal spending that reflect your deeper values. So, again, we've talked about this before, but it's also important to utilize the influence of King of Pentacles reversed in this. And so when this card comes up, maybe we're revisiting values and priorities and goals and such based on this. Like, oh, am I valuing? Am I putting too much emphasis on like the money side of things, the gaining and resources, and neglecting the sort of spiritual or the fluid aspect of it? Or am I doing the other? So you can see how maybe this goal or this thing is for me because it's still, well, hello dragon dancer, welcome. It's for me. It's helping me to get to where I want to be. Or maybe like, oh, I just wanted things, right? It's kind of like, oh, I just want books, and so I'm just buying books left and right. And nothing wrong with that. We love books, support the books. But like, now I'm like, no, 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 I don't need to read this. I don't need to read that. Like, I don't need that book. If I'm getting something, it's to fuel my education, right? This is a very important like year for me to really start studying herbalism, herbal medicine, herbal preparations, all of it. Like, it's so important to me to grow in that way. And so, like, I can look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm wasting resources here just because everyone else is getting this book. I feel like I need to have it. No, I don't. So let me not do that. But I do have the resource to get a book. And so I still want to read something. I'm going to apply that to what's fueling me. Like, excuse me. And so I'm going to invest into a herbal book that is going to help support my education. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? So it's really prioritizing and revisiting the values that we have. And yes, we can still work within our means. And maybe instead of doing one thing, we apply it to the situation we're actually trying to grow in and do that. Community, connect with the community or group that shares your interest in spiritual growth or personal development. This connection can provide support and perspective, helping you keep material desires in check with spiritual needs. So, oh my god. Ugh, I know. And like, I am terrible. Like, I think you understand. I think you understand, but like, I when I get a book, I want like 2 to 3 copies of a book just because like I want one to read, I want one on my shelf, and I want one to possibly gift if and when that happens. I rarely ever get 3 copies. It's like 2 copies sometimes, depending on the author, depending on the book. But yeah, it's like if I'm gonna read it, then I know that I'm going to like kind of like not disrespect the book, but like I'm going to take notes, and it's gonna be rough. So I want a pristine copy. And then if it's like a self-published book, I have to have as many copies as I can because you never know if it's ever going to get published again or how it's going to get published again. So, oh. Okay. But yeah, connecting with the community, whatever that looks like for us, to help us. I really feel the King of Pentacles reversed is really showing us how to fluctuate the ebb and flow. It's like how to balance the physical, the receiving, the blessing, the getting of the things, but also like the spiritual aspects of it. The Sorry, I got distracted. Never underestimate the power of friends who support. Exactly. Never underestimate the power of friends who support your spiritual growth. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yes. Sorry. Like, gave me the chills for it gave me the chills. And I just like totally went into like my headspace. Okay, so our last talking point, I know I ramble a lot. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I do appreciate it. Um, our last talking point, key insight, is reassessing goals and values. We kind of talked about that in the practical applications for the previous. But we've talked about this before, but like ever so often, it's really important to reevaluate our goals. It's essential to ensure that they align with our deepest values rather than being solely influenced by external pressures or material desires. Um, it is, because we change so much. We change so much, like all the time. And like, if you think about it, like if we're going, like if we have the luxury, the opportunity to go to therapy, talk to a therapist, and we're working through some problems, we gain insight, we gain insight, we gain those gems, however we get it, not just therapists, but we gain that insight, we gain those gems, and then we apply it, right? We apply that energy. We're different by witnessing something, by receiving something. um we're different. We're absolutely different. We change and we have a different outlook. It's really fascinating to me because it can just be one little sentence that someone says to us, and we think about it and we unpack it, and it shifts how we start to engage with the world, right? And so it changes everything. And one little thing. And so we become different. And the more we apply that, we solidify that difference, right? And so we be, now it's so important to ask ourselves, like, do I still want the same things? Do I still desire the same things? um or not, right? So this practice is vital for maintaining authenticity, a buzzword that gets overused. But oh well, in our pursuits and preventing the hollow successes that can come from chasing superficial achievements. It also helps us stay true to our path and make adjustments that resonate with our evolving understanding of success and fulfillment. um this aspect is really important because it is okay to change. It is absolutely okay to say, you know what, I've been doing this, I don't really like it anymore. I had to do that with hair. I When I was doing hair, I'm still licensed, but like I I don't like it. I don't. And I'll tell you something very fascinating. I know I'm rambly, but and feel free to share your thoughts on this, please. Share your thoughts on what we're talking about today. I'm here for it. But this is our time together, so let's make the most of it. But like I did hair. Uh I love being an artist. I love being creative, and I did hair. I went to school, did the thing, license, yada yada yada. I don't like it. I like helping people. I love helping people. Like that's something that's so important to me. If I have tools to be able to share and help someone, I love that. But the actual like the beauty industry really got to me. First, it was like the having people unload on you like consistently, which I was fine with because I made it fun, but it was more like not getting the sort of like respect because people think a lot of times, especially when I was doing hair, like you're just a stylist, you're just a hair person, like who are you? Like you mean nothing. Like your profession is like a joke. But at the same time, it's like, but our profession survived the depression. Also, you're coming to me because you want to look good. So why don't you just go to someone else? You don't, because you want to make sure that you get a good, service, right? You want to be entertained. You want good hair. And so but it was just a lot of disrespect. And then it became like superficial, like so superficial in a sense where eh, and then all the things. And so I was changing, like the superficial bit of it, like that's what I was trying to get at, like the superficial bit, like the beauty and all of that, like that didn't bother me at first. But the more that and again, I'm not saying it's bad, but like the more that I started to change, the more that I started to heal, the more that I started doing work for myself, um I realized like this didn't feel good to me. You know, I didn't like the type of engagement that I was providing in this setting. It was not right for me anymore. And so, I had to check those goals. Yes, I know what I could be making. I know what I can be taking in, but it's not, it doesn't feel right. And so I left. I stopped. And I don't regret it, because it's a challenge being a hairstylist, being a professional beauty person. We're constantly like, oh, you do hair, you can do my hair for free, or you do this, you can do. And I'm like, you do realize like this shit costs a lot to do, just to do, and then it like wear and tear on the body. Sorry, that's a long ramble. But just to sort of like expand on the aspect of this card, I changed, and so my view of the profession that I was in changed, and it wasn't as rewarding, it wasn't as fulfilling, and so I recognized like I can't be here anymore, and it's time to take a step elsewhere, right? And so that's kind of what this is saying here. It's like when we reevaluate, because we change, it is so important to reevaluate goals. Like the goals that we set out for ourselves, the things we set out for ourselves when we're in our 20s are not going to be the same thing in our 30s or in our 40s. So let's check it. I totally vibe with that. I Yeah. Yep. I totally get that. Yes. It's so different and it's so interesting. Yes. Well, see, and that's it's funny you say that, and I'll get into the practical applications in a second. But it's funny you say that because I went from doing hair, like in a salon, self-employed, working for others, whatever. I went from doing all that to then professional beauty, right? I went to retail and for professionals, and I loved it. I loved it. I really did. I didn't. Towards the end, I didn't like the dynamics. I was experiencing a King of Pentacles reverse person, but I loved engaging. I loved helping other stylists, other professionals build their tool set. Like I was educating them. I took a lot of education. I understand color theory really well. And so I was able to share that with them so their clients would have have a good experience. And so I loved it. I could, you know, and that changed eventually. But yeah, sometimes changing the way you engage shifts your perspective. Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, yes. But thank you. I don't know. I don't know about the maths, but thank you. Yeah, I am so like I don't think I could. Like not beauty anyways. But yeah, change to gain knowledge to go on. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. So annual review, practical applications. Make it a practice to annually review your goals and aspirations, reflect on your achievements, and set new goals that align more closely with your current values, ensuring that your pursuits are meaningful. So we've kind of talked about that. Like as we change, as we heal, as we start to feel differently, it is so important that we give ourselves the space to review like where we're headed financially, physically, our body, our resources, all the earthy mundane stuff. Let's check in with ourselves. What needs to be altered, you know? Let's do that. Give our and if we don't do it ever so often, at least make it a point once a year to review. Make a ritual of it, have fun with it. Maybe get a few people together and like a mastermind group type of thing, and check in, review. This is an important thing I find. Keep educated, stay informed about the broader impacts of your professional and personal choices, such as sustainability or social responsibility. This education can help you make decisions that are not only financially sound but also ethically grounded. um, And this can be expanded as well to make sure to keep educated about, the mundane happenings, the things that you're wanting to achieve, your goals, whatever you're doing. Keep educated, because if there's something that is shifting in like the broader perspective of, let's say, your profession, and you're like, you know what, this might be a good time to get out, right? Then you have that education. You educated yourself in a way where it's like, I am comfortable with making that decision. Like, I recognize, like, you know what, maybe there's just too many things of the same going on right now, and I'm not really into it. And so this it's a time for me to make my exit, or shift what I do, or how I do it. And the last aspect, practical application, is gratitude. We've talked about this a bit, but we apply that gratitude through the King of Pentacles. So cultivate a habit of gratitude that focuses on non-material aspects of your life, because in reverse we can get sort of like, ooh, I want this and I want this and I have this and I have this, and surround ourselves with all the things that we're forgetting to also appreciate the things that aren't just physical things. So cultivate a habit of gratitude that focuses on non-material aspects of your life, such as relationships and personal growth. This can shift your perspective from what you lack to what you have, reducing the urge to pursue goals based solely on I almost, I almost read material gin. That says gain. It says gain, not gin. It's time for me to be done. Oh my gosh. But you can see where, like, focusing our gratitude on things that are not physical, or not material, right, can help us turn the King of Pentacles around. And yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of talking stuff today. There's a lot of cool things that we've explored today. And what do you think? What are your thoughts? Also, sorry. Congratulations to Cat Def. Oh, sugar. I totally messed up your last name. I want to say DeFreeze or DeFeece. I think it's Freeze. I think there's an R. I had it written down. It was on my screen. It's no longer on my screen. But congratulations to Cat. You won the giveaway for joining us publicly, or joining the free tier on Patreon, my newsletter type thing. And I'll be contacting you soon. Um, Sorry, that just popped into my mind. I was like, I wanted to make sure to say congratulations before we ended this. So I will get with you. And yeah, we'll do more giveaways throughout the year for sure. Gratitude is the foundation of abundance. Yes, I like that, and I think that it feels good. Like, I'm great, because it's with gratitude. I find, especially if we were talking about the King of Pentacles in reverse here, it's like, I'm grateful for these experiences. I have a lot of things that I love, but like, I really am grateful to be able to share space with you, and to communicate with you, and to share what I love with you, and maybe like you take something from it and you can use it, or you share your thoughts and we go back and forth. That is something that is so rewarding to me, is when we are able to go back and forth, because y'all, I'm old, and I miss the days of forums. There used to be so many forums, like MSN had like whole chat groups and forums, and so did Yahoo. But like, there were so many different forums that were so, like, where we were able to converse and go back and forth, and debate, and get into debate and discussion, and people now think anytime someone disagrees with you, there's a fight, and people shut down. And it's like, we don't have to fight just because I disagree with you. Like, we can. I'm gonna throw my hoops down, get my eyebrows painted on, we can go. But that's not where I was taking it. But yeah, it's rewarding to me, so I'm so grateful for that. And I feel like when we focus on those things, it just brings a different another layer of richness to our lives. um and it's important to make sure to honor those things that aren't like physical, and also to show our children. I don't got kids, y'all. I'm showing the cats. But like, showing the younger generation or children, like when we appreciate, yes, we can appreciate having money, having resources. We should. But also appreciating experiences, appreciating things that aren't like tied to actual money. So when we were teaching those around us that, hey, this is also great. This is also good. And we grow in different ways that are beneficial, I feel. So, so thank you so much for participating. I really do appreciate y'all. I do. I won't be here tomorrow. I have to go to the damn doctor, y'all. Don't worry, I'm fine. Uh oh my gosh, I have to go to the doctor, to tell me, hey, the diabetes. No, I just have to get my results. It's like they make me do my A1C like all the time, and I'm like, it's still good, still good, still good. Did I? This is TMI, but like I had to go get my blood drawn, and I did not know they were gonna make me pee in a cup, and I'm like, I just peed. I don't have to pee, and the thing is, the person doing my blood work was someone I went to high school, someone I went to high school with, and I'm like, this is so awkward. She's like, you need some water, and I'm like, I would love some water, thanks, hun. I'll be back with your cup of piss. And she's like, don't worry about it. It is not anything. Like, you should see what some people bring me. And I'm like, it's still awkward. It's still weird. And then I was like, I hope it's enough. I'm like, I just. Anywho, I won't be here tomorrow because I'll be at the doctor. But I will be back on Wednesday. So thank you again. Oh, and also, today is the last day to order my Moon Oracle deck. Reach out if you want information on that. I post it everywhere, but sometimes, with the algorithm, you don't see that stuff. But today's the last day, and then I'll be focusing on my Mars deck, my Tuesday deck. So again, I'm rambling. Thank you so much, y'all. I'm leaving. Okay, bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.